Hey guys, Rollout here with LEGO Transformers Scalestorm version 2. This guy is one of my more popular original characters, and I can sort of see why, mainly because his transformation is interesting and a lot of fun. But personally, I wasn't quite satisfied with everything else. I felt like his robot mode was a little unfinished, and his snake mode just looked goofy and dumb. So when it came to rebuilding him so that I could eventually make instructions, I wanted to bring things closer to my current standard. Of course, the main changes are in the head, where I repositioned the jaw and connected that lower so that the mouth is a lot wider and looks a bit more natural. The top of the head is more angular and reptilian. The eyes are actually on the side now. And then I replaced his tongue with a crowbar piece, which I think looks a lot better. The rest of his body is relatively similar. I just polished it up a little bit and made things make a little bit more sense. The end of his tail is a lot more solid, and I think the new rattle cannon looks pretty good. Of course, you can get him in a firing position, which is silly, but it's the best way of going about it. Unfortunately, his head is now locked in place, so you don't get that extra pivot for articulation, but you can kind of have him slithering around. You can also even coil him up completely if you want. It's not the most organic articulation in the world. It completely relies on transformation joints, but he is more expressive than you might think. For comparison, here he is alongside Therafist, and I think they complement each other so well. I actually wanted to make Scalestorm's eyes translucent red to match, but unfortunately surrounded by black bricks, they became a bit too hard to see. Regardless, they look great together, and here they are, terrorizing a petrified explorer. Of course, his transformation is fun as ever, with just a couple of additional steps this time around. First, we're going to spread him out completely here. We're going to start at this end by rotating this bit around and then collapsing that part up. On this side, we're going to detach the jaw here and then reconnect it up at this position, just like so. Next, we're going to completely collapse him together, like this. And of course, this is where the magic happens. We're going to flip these sections up, bring down his legs, flip down the arms, and there is Scalestorm in robot mode. Once again, he is relatively similar to before, just with some added polish and thoughtfulness put into the design. I especially tried to accentuate the motif where his arms kind of become two halves of a smaller snake. On this side, he of course has the rattle cannon, and then on the other side, his jaw alone becomes a simpler snake head with the teeth pointing through and a tongue becoming kind of a tentacle hand here, which I think is pretty cool. The 2x1 cheese slopes streamline his face a whole lot, and I like how when they come together, they create kind of this reptilian mouth between his eyes. Speaking of which, I love the dark pink used there. For articulation, you can't expect a whole lot just because of his stocky nature and the fact that his head is his body, but his legs can go forward and back, his arms can swing up and down, and then they can also swing in and out, but that's really all you're gonna get. Finally, we'll do some quick robot mode comparisons. Here he is with a minifigure. And last but not least, here he is alongside Therafist. They're just a couple of beefy little bruisers with personality that both turn into creepy creatures, and even though I designed them years apart from each other, they make an excellent duo. So, until next time, this has been Rollout, signing off.